Hi, my name is Drew Locher. Welcome to our new series, Value Stream Mapping Tips and Tricks. The value stream mapping methodology has been around since 1997. I have personally facilitated over 200 value stream mapping exercises in a wide assortment of organizations spanning many industries. I've experienced firsthand the benefits of this powerful approach applied to all sorts of manufacturing, services, and development processes and systems. In addition, I have delivered numerous public workshops, and being a person of some repute in the lean community, people often reach out to me for advice on this subject, even sharing their maps, looking for suggestions, and the like. It is during these interactions that the discussions turn to the manner in which people are practicing the methodology. It is the intent of this series to share many of these learnings in order to help people improve their abilities in the use of value stream mapping, to help both new and seasoned practitioners. However, it should be noted that the series is not intended for people completely unfamiliar with the subject. For such people, we suggest that you read one of the three preeminent references on the topic. We'll introduce them early in the first episode. The series consists of 6 brief episodes that parallel the value stream mapping methodology itself. In this first episode, we will provide a review of the purpose, history, and the general approach. Towards the end of the episode, we will provide tips on how to prepare for a value stream mapping exercise. Subsequent episodes will cover current state mapping, future state mapping, and achieving the future state. So let's get started. Value stream mapping is one of several improvement methodologies, which we will review later this episode. It is used to redesign systems. We define a value stream as a series of interrelated processes that typically cut across multiple departments or functions. For this reason, it is a powerful collaborative tool that can help improve cooperation and teamwork across the departments. The authors of Lean Thinking, Jim Womack and Dan Jones, identified 3 primary value streams that make up most businesses. Some businesses are involved in all 3, others just 1 or 2. First, they describe the transformation of raw material to finished products. This is what would include manufacturing or manufacturers. Learning to See, published in 1997 from Mike Rother and John Shook, provides the methodology for value stream mapping manufacturing. The second they described is information management, as found in office and services. Most all businesses have one or several such value streams. The Complete Lean Enterprise, published in 2004 from Bo Keat and myself, provides the methodology for value stream mapping office and service processes. They describe the third primary value stream as problem solving. The market has a problem and someone designs a solution. This is usually in the form of products, but also some services. It involves the development systems, design and development systems. Value Stream Mapping for Lean Development, published in 2008 and authored by myself, provides the methodology to value stream map these typically very complex value streams. These are the 3 preeminent references on the subject that cover the 3 primary value streams businesses are engaged in. There are several purposes for using the value stream mapping methodology. Some are technical in nature, others social, as we already hit on when we discussed collaboration. First and foremost, it helps people see systems, even complicated ones such as product development. System thinking is a key attribute in any effective problem solver and process improver. People need to understand that there are suppliers, both internal and external, customers, again, both internal and external, to whatever process or processes that he or she performs. Getting the work and the flow of work visible is a necessary first step to improving it. Some in the Lean community have referred to the DNA of Lean that consists of activities, pathways, and linkages. For those of you who have mapped in the past, you well know that value stream mapping makes all 3 of these very visible. A value stream map with its icons and data can help point to problems from a system perspective. Which problems are most important to the overall system? Value stream maps can help an organization answer this important question and therefore provide much needed direction. Lastly, we use value stream mapping as an improvement methodology that seeks significant, even radical improvement, not incremental improvement. we have seen that this is not always the case when organizations apply this approach. They often are looking for smaller improvements, which quite frankly can be achieved by other less involved improvement methodologies. Up to 50% reductions in lead time, up to 40% reductions in process time, significant improvement should be the objective of value stream mapping. Results that can only be achieved through radically changing how work flows and is managed. The goal is to improve the overall performance of the value stream, not necessarily every process within. As we said before, a value stream is a series of interrelated processes that cut across multiple functions or departments. Often the opportunity for value stream improvement is in the linkages or lack of linkages between functions. We may need a particular department to change their process in a way that could even be construed as more work, if it will benefit the overall value stream. It is why people need to put on what I call the big hat and be open to change that helps the overall whole and not be parochial in their thinking, where they are protecting their own turf. It should always be remembered that the goal is value stream improvement, not necessarily process improvement. Let's now discuss value stream mapping in the context of other improvement methodologies that we have in our lean toolbox. Each have their unique characteristics, and the key is to use the right tool for the job. Use a tool in a way it was not intended can result in a negative experience and spoil the water for people where they don't want to continue to use it. Often the one you choose will depend on the social benefits you seek to achieve. A3 storyboards is a technique that refers to the size of the paper that the story, an improvement effort, is most often displayed on, an 11 by 17-inch paper. It has been effectively used to develop the problem-solving and process improvement abilities in people who use it. The paper makes use of a template that represents the PDCA, Plan, Do, Check, Act process. Given its format, a piece of paper, it lends itself to use by very small groups, say 1 to 3 individuals. This doesn't mean others will not be involved in the effort, but in terms of using it to develop the problem-solving and process improvement skills in others, this is best accomplished in small groups. An author of an A3 will periodically share it with others in order to get necessary coaching. The types of problems and improvement initiatives that lend itself to the A3 process tend to be those that can be addressed within several months, not the 3 to 12 months typical of value stream mapping. It is used properly, or if used properly, it can be used to garner support and achieve collaboration with other individuals, but perhaps not entire groups as can be achieved with value stream mapping. Rapid improvement or Kaizen events are short-term, very focused improvement efforts that have what we call a bias towards action, the do in Plan, Do, Check, Act. To recall, value stream mapping is really just focused on the plan. The DCA or Do, Check, Act will come later, typically over a 3 to 12 month period of time. With Kaizen events, a cross-functional team of 6 to 10 individuals are assembled to achieve a predefined objective, say the implementation of an agreed-upon countermeasure, over a predetermined period of time. It is a great approach to get changes accomplished quickly, over several days, like implementing lean countermeasures such as 5S, quick changeover, and the like. It can have important social benefits of demonstrating to people that change can occur quickly, and not every change needs to drag out. For this reason, they tend to be very motivational. Ideally, Do, Check, Act is performed during the event, but sometimes Act to Make Standard needs to wait until later. Similar in nature to Kaizen events are improvement efforts that follow a rapid PDCA approach, also called kata. Best practice by a frontline supervisor or manager working with their natural work teams, the objective is to complete full PDCA cycles in short periods of time, say 1 to 5 days. No need for cross-functional teams here, no need for blocks of time to be put aside, and the like. It is that frontline leader affecting improvement in the course of the regular day by engaging their natural work teams. Anyone can practice kata. Lastly, we'll discuss the DMAIC, a version of PDCA used by the people in the Six Sigma community. While not necessary, most Six Sigma folks apply DMAIC to improvement projects that will take several months to complete. Teams may or may not be formed in any formal sense, though others will be involved in the improvement effort at various points of the process. The projects tend to be significant undertakings. All the methodologies share a similar approach: Plan, Do, Check, Act, PDCA, and all involve, or at least should, coaching of those applying the methodology by others more experienced in its use. Again, the one you select to use may depend on the social benefits you are trying to achieve. Are you trying to develop the problem-solving and process improvement skills of an individual, a small group, a large group? Are you trying to improve collaboration between groups? Are you trying to help people become more receptive to change? The answers to these and other questions will help to determine the appropriate methodology. Let's now review the value stream mapping process. It is fairly straightforward. First, necessary preparations must be made. Then, the mapping exercise can begin. A map of the current state is created. Then, a map of the future state. Lastly, a plan to implement the future state is developed. We will go over preparing for a value stream mapping exercise later in this episode. In subsequent episodes, we will go over the other steps of the process. But first, note the use of the term agreeing at each step. It is about the agreeing. Remember, an important benefit value stream mapping provides is its ability to develop collaborations between functions and departments. That collaboration should begin from the very start of the process, getting the appropriate people together during the preparation activity to agree on goals and objectives, assembling a cross-functional team to learn from each other as it creates the current state map, that same team developing a shared vision of what can be when developing the future state, and finally, together determining how best to implement that future state. We have seen at times that organizations have not adequately involved the key players in the exercise, choosing instead to delegate the process or parts of the process to the lean, continuous improvement, black belt folks, whatever title they may have in your organization. From our experience, this has provided less than expected results. The exercise itself can take place over 2 to 5 days, not necessarily consecutive days. In fact, it's recommended that they not be consecutive days. By spreading out the days over several weeks, that allows for the proper socialization at each step. For example, a current state map is created. Well, that should really be shared with others in the organization to verify its accuracy. Similarly, the future state map, once that's created by a team, that too should be shared with others in the organization. So that they can get other ideas, can start the garner support, and so forth. So it is preferred to conduct the exercise over a series of non-consecutive days over several weeks. Next, let's talk about preparation and provide some tips. It is important that there is a strong purpose to the effort. To recall, we are seeking significant change when applying the value stream mapping methodology. Therefore, it should be tied to the strategy of the business. I can say that approximately 50% of the time, when I begin a discussion with an organization about a possible mapping effort, the scope, even the entire focus, can change after a discussion of the organization's strategy and objectives. Very importantly, the specific goals of the effort must be identified during the preparation step. We will talk about the importance of this in a later episode. Suffice it to say here that the team and the organization as a whole really need to know where it wants to go before embarking on the path. The result of the preparation step is a clarity, a clear definition of the value stream to be mapped and redesigned, clear beginning and ending points, agreement on what is and out of scope. The last point is important so that the team avoids focusing on things that are of less importance to the organization or will be addressed at a later time in a separate exercise. With this clarity, the team members can be identified. Very importantly, a discussion on data that needs to be collected prior to the start of the exercise takes place. This is particularly important when mapping non-production value streams where data is not readily available. Data collection ahead of time can really help the current state mapping effort go more smoothly. And of course, logistics can be worked out. Beyond the dates, start and stop times, and location, other logistical challenges can be addressed. For example, let's say that all the activities in value stream are not performed in the same location. How will this be handled? Perhaps team members have to travel. How will they get access to their systems and tools so they can show them to other team members when mapping the current state? Addressing such challenges ahead of time will help the current state mapping effort go more smoothly. That brings our first episode to a close. To summarize the key points, like any tool, value stream mapping must be applied properly. To misuse it will lead to not just less than expected results, but a poor experience of the team members and the organization as a whole. They will be less likely to use the methodology in the future. Also remember, the objective of value stream mapping is radical improvement. If you're just after incremental improvement, small improvement, then we would suggest using one of the other improvement methodologies that we covered earlier in this episode. Next, do not underestimate the social benefits when practicing the tool properly. Remember the ingredient discussion we had earlier in the episode. As with any major change effort, preparation can make or break the effort. So remember those tips that we provided a moment ago on preparation for a value stream mapping exercise, and that will make the exercise go much more smoothly and be a better experience for all. We hope that you found the information in this episode helpful. The second episode will provide tips and tricks for current state mapping. We hope that you'll join us.